How much power lies in the heart of a dragon? I'll tell you one thing, not as much that lies in the heart of two dragons. Bum bum billy boo, it's the Wondrous Historian. Hello! Greetings, Stone Seekers! Thank you for joining me for another fun video. Today, we're going to be going double dragon style. We're gonna crack 2 fat, juicy dragon boosters. So, let's go. Here we are for double dragon action, but not the kind where a lady gets socked and thrown over your shoulder like the old arcade game. A much more delicious variation of double dragon and scratchy scratch ASMR. Anyways, that might not be good for the cards now that I think about it. Hold on. I didn't really think that through. Okay, so we're going to look at some juice. Some big time fat worthy juice. All right. So, hold on. Where's the where do these look the best where the light isn't reflecting as much off of them? Over here maybe? Over here? Over here? I feel like over here. That's what we're going to do. Okay. All right. We got Mask of the Abyss. So we're starting out with the common formless foil. We got to work our way to the goodness, right? This is a 2-cost item. Equip Wonder gets +2. Whenever the Equip Wonder dies, draw a card. So that's all right if you're using it with little sacrificial tokens and stuff. Not too shabby, but also just kind of like common whatever. So let's get that on up out of here. Move on to Nyx Fleetfoot. 1 cost, 0 power. The first time you play a secondary card each round, draw a card. That's not too shabby. I feel like in this game, there's not a ton of different card draw. Yeah, you do have the ability to spend actions to draw extra cards, but I genuinely don't feel like there is a ton of individual card draw. So, not too shabby. And then we got Whirlpool Bay Watchman, down by the bay, where the Whirlpool Watchmen grow. 2 costs, 2 power, and he's got Call. So on arrival, you may move target wonder from any realm towards this if its controller controls a stone here. I like Call when it's used with creatures that actually have some kind of punishing effect for moving them over, you know? Now we're moving into the goodness. We got the rare action. Emperor Barnail. Emperor Barnacle. 2 cost, 3 power, rare. Whenever this gets a -1 counter, it gets 2 +1 counters instead. Taking your negatives, turn them into a positive. That doesn't seem too bad. It feels like something that will get stronger as time progresses, and there are more ways to put -1s on your dudes. What's after that? Oh, we got a serialized. We got Borak Salvage Hound, number 81 out of 99. 1 cost, 2 power. Tap him for free, gain an energy, and he's got Heart of a Legend. So if you have any other legendary wonders out, then he actually ends up having his ability go off twice. So you can tap him for 2 energy, which isn't too bad, but also isn't too amazing. It's somewhere in the middle. But it is a serialized card, which means he immediately gets a sleeve, because them's the rules. All right, then we got the card that they named after me, officially confirmed. Hot Streamer. Epic Token. This is Equip Wonder gets +1. Whenever Equip Wonder attacks, you may move target defending wonder with cost 2 or less to an adjacent realm. You can literally hit him so hard with this that it sends him flying to a different part of the world. Not too shabby. Then we got Flamecrest Monarchy Sentinel. 3 cost, 1 power. Awaken +6. So if you got a stone this round, then he actually becomes a 7 power. That's okay for 3. But, I mean, if you don't grab a stone and on your opponent's turn, he's not on your opponent's turn, what I'm talking about. On other turns where you haven't grabbed a stone, he's not going to have that boost. So, And then we got Ethereum's Chosen. 3 cost, 3 power. Tap it for free. You may banish a boundless first form from your hand. If you do, untap this and it becomes a copy of it this round. That's pretty neat. Being able to copy something else that you have in your hand. It's got some potential. So, not too shabby. I do wish that this was a little more juicy, but, you know, still, I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain about getting a serialized card. Let's see what the other dragon. Let's see what the doublest dragon brings to the table. All right. Bum, bum, bum. Okay, so I'll move it a little over a little bit. We got Saber Relics, 2 cost, 2 power, Awaken +3. So yeah, I mean, compared to the guy who's got like Awaken +6 for 1 more, pretty underwhelming. Pretty underwhelming. We got Uncanny Amani, 3 cost, 4 power. On arrival, banish target card in the abyss. It's okay. You get to get rid of one of their cards in the graveyard. That's got some potential, but also kind of whatever. Now we're moving into the rares. Low Squeal and Plam, 4 cost, 2 power. Awaken +3, and on defense, each attacking enemy here gets -2 this round. Much better Awaken ability than the other ones that we've seen so far. Really making it so your opponent's not going to want to attack into it, as it's going to reduce the power on multiple of their guys, leading to bad times for them. Then we got an epic in the form of Thousand Armed Jelly. 6 cost, 6 power. On arrival, each player loses 2 energy. So that's not too shabby if you maneuver the right situation where you've used up your energy. You don't really need to worry about it. Or you just know something your opponent's going to do. You want to deny him the energy. There's a lot of ways with Thalwyn to bounce dudes back to your opponent's hand. So you could bounce something back to their hand and then play this guy so that they don't have enough energy to be able to put him back out. Right? Oh, Mythic Formless Foil! Commander Zax, 4 cost, 6 power. Whenever a card you own enters the abyss, put a +1 counter on target wonder here, and it's got flying. So that's not too shabby. It's not just him that can get the bonus. Any wonder that is in this area gets a bonus for every card that hits the abyss, right? Because it's whenever a card you own enters the abyss. It doesn't have to go from play. It can go from your hand. It can go from your deck. That's got a lot of potential. And, oh, we got another mythic. Bartok the Charger. Wait, I think that, hold on. I've actually got my story tokens over here. I don't think I have this one. No, I don't. Okay, sweet. I literally didn't even have this card yet. So, this is a story token. 3 power with Rage. So, on arrival, you can attack here before the next player takes their turn. But if you do, you sacrifice him at the end of battle. Not too shabby. It lets you jump the queue and not have to wait after your opponent does something with the normal back and forth, but at the cost of losing him, which would probably be worth it. Then we've got Petunia, 3 cost, 2 power. On attack, put a +1 counter on this. Considering you can attack 3 or more times a turn, especially if you have other things going on, then, I mean, that can add up. Not the best, not the worst. And Mariana Storm Surge, 2 cost, 1 power. Awaken, merfolk you control get +2. An Awaken that affects multiple guys. I like that better. So yeah, overall, not too shabby double dragon action. We got ourselves multiple mythics, right? Got 2 mythics and serialized action. So yeah, I'd say that was a win. I'm happy with that. I'm good with that.